every time I hear it. All right, let's get another guy with some potential here. That's Mykel Williams out of Georgia, who is one of those guys, again, that you look at, and on paper, he should play better than he does. And for some reason, you just don't see it yet. Now, he is very young. He's just 20 years old, so that's part of it there. 6'5", 265 pounds from Warm Springs, Georgia. This past season.
Sounds nice.
Doesn't it sound nice? Sounds like one of those places you try to get like people from New York to move down to. Are you tired of the cold weather, expensive high taxes? Have you tried Warm Springs, Georgia?
Where the weather is always pleasant.
Here's Eric Estrada here to talk about it. Yeah. Anyway, this past year, 12 games, 21 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 5 sacks, 2 passes deflected, 2 forced fumbles, and a 78.4 PFF grade. Here's a guy that point blank. You got, look at this. I said 21 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 21 tackles, 5 sacks. It's not a ton of production. It's a lot of high quality production. And that's why I look at him and say, you know what? This is a guy that you probably can develop, but he's going to take patience. That's what I feel like. He's going to take patience. And I kind of compare him to Trayvon Walker with the Jaguars a couple of years ago when he was the first overall pick. He was picked, which, first off, when you pick somebody first overall in the draft based on potential, that's supposed to be your safest bet in the entire draft. Yeah. They went big. And he's another guy who was on Georgia's football team. And people drafted him and loved him based on his measurables, based on his combine performance, based on some of the physical things he could do that, quite frankly, guys that had more on their tape in college couldn't do. But again, I'm seeing something from this kid when he's on the field. So I like him. But there's a risk because, again, you're going based on potential. I would think he should be like a late first-round pick. He's strong. He's got great size. He also takes snaps from the inside, by the way, guys, which I thought was kind of interesting. So if you want to run a kind of, especially on a third down, and put a guy like him towards the inside and be an inside pass rusher, you can do that. He's athletic. He's undeveloped as a pass rusher. Doesn't have a lot of moves. Needs time to learn to use his hands better. And like I said, refine those pass rush moves overall. But again, late first round pick, I think he's going to be. I think he's the guy that's going to take a year or two to really develop before you really know what you got. You know, some of that is the age too, but he's a guy that, quite frankly, probably, I almost hate saying it because we're talking about a guy who's going to be still probably a late first round pick. I think this is a kid that really could have benefited from being one more year in Georgia. Like one more year, he could have been a top 10 pick. He didn't want to play there anymore. He wanted out. He gets out. But
I think a lot of kids these days too, especially since you can make money in college.
You're not making this money. That's the thing. You're not making this money. There's not a lot of guys making more than $1 million a year. And this is a guy that, when he gets drafted, he's got that first round check.
Yeah. Well, as I'm saying, like there's between like been picked 30 and been picked 8.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be 8 or 30. I think it'll be behind, probably in the 20s somewhere at that point. You know,
I'm just saying, if you wait until next year and moves up in the draft.
Oh yeah, but he also could have got hurt. He also could have had a worse year. There's guys you hear about every year that maybe they should have went last year. They had better numbers, that kind of thing. It happens all the time. But I think, like I said, I think it'll be a late first round pick where I think it'll be.
Probably.
All right.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you. Please subscribe.